Hey guys, good afternoon. I kind of got my setup a little bit different today, so I will be able to look straight down at my computer. I'm super excited. So today I'm going to talk to you guys about having a millionaire mindset. And even if you aren't seeking to get to $1 million, why not set your sights at one, right? And so I want to talk to you specifically about how being an entrepreneur and adopting this type of mindset really increases your power, your leverage, your ability to get out there and grab those clients that you're really looking for, make the impact, make the money that you're looking for. So, millionaires, if you ever follow any of them, they have specific habits that are reinforced over time. They learn how to handle failures. There is a lot of no's that go into entrepreneurship, and that you learn to accept those no's a little bit differently than some people who are employees. And when you hear me compare entrepreneur to employee, there's no disrespect out there for people who are employees, whether or not you're seeking entrepreneurship or not. There is just a different mind frame and a mindset with people who are entrepreneur in their heart and in their minds. Okay, so talk about 3 things today that widely successful people do to create this sort of mindset, right? So there are your personal and mental health that is highly focused on income and mindset. So these 3 things create what millionaires do. And I could tell you that a lot of them do a lot of the similar things, and that's how it's replicated. And so if you are a person who sees beyond 6 figures and sees 6-figure months, or wants to see 6-figure months versus 6-figure years, then we're looking at what we really have to do, and a lot has to change in order for you to get there. So let's talk about your personal and mental wellness. And so millionaires, and we'll just say widely successful people. So even if we're falling a little bit, under the millionaire mark, I don't want to exclude you because this is something for you as well. They focus on exercise, diet, healthy habits that ward off things like anxiety and depression. And they work at improving their negative thought loops. And they're also really open to getting coaching services or mental health services to help them in those areas that will help them think better, believe more positively. And that's something that people that operate within this domain in their mind really have a positive mindset, a positive outlook to life. They see challenges in the world as not unsurmountable, so they feel like they can achieve their goals if they set them. They often have me time, so they have scheduled times in their day. And of course, if you're working a 40-hour schedule, it's really hard to say, I'm going to set aside time to work out and eat healthy and blah, blah, blah. But you can. And so I can even share with myself as I was building my therapy private practice, I was still working full time, 40 hours a week, and with a 2-hour daily commute, on top of working 2 hours in the evening in my private practice, as well as Fridays, which were my days off that I had since I worked 4 10-hour shifts during the week. And so I still, on top of that, incorporated working out. So I would come home at 8 o'clock at night and work out before I would go to bed. And that is kind of what a lot of entrepreneurs will do. They will focus on exercise, healthy habits, because if you have a healthy body from the outside, from exercise, and from the inside with good food, then your mental thought processes and fatigue and those kind of things don't really set in as well as if you're overworked, you're tired, you're not sleeping well, you're not eating well because of all these other things. You're impacting your body more and more and more to where it really can't get ahead of itself. And so these are the daily habits that successful people make sure that they set aside. I do this as well in my current life, even though I still see 25 clients a week, plus my coaching clients, plus my clients that I supervise, master level therapy students. And so I still do all of that stuff, right? And so I make sure that I exercise, and I try to do that early in the morning. I am eating well most of the time. I can't say that I'm perfect. That's something for improvement. And then I also have my daily habits that I get into first thing in the morning. If you've listened to any of my lives, I talk about that in great detail of I get up in the morning and I meditate, I journal, I pray, I set my intention for the day. I set my goals of how I want to think, how I want to feel for the day before my day ever gets started. And then I go out for my daily walk and I exercise and I then have a healthy breakfast. That is all before my day gets started. And so if you have an early start to your day, some things that you can think about doing if that's an area in which you aren't operating that well is maybe getting up 30 minutes to an hour before you normally would get up so that you can incorporate these things into your day. And I can guarantee you it will be a life changer if you have a morning routine before you're struggling to get your day started and get to your clients or whatever you're doing in your business. So that's the first piece of it, is having personal and mental wellness, and that will help you get on that mindset track of being wealthy, right? If you want to be wealthy, you have to act wealthy first. So the second part is all about income. The income strategies that wealthy people start, create, and maintain. You have to have specific work hours. No one wants this entrepreneur that's dragging their ass around and that a coach that's overwhelmed and overworked. And so as I speak mostly to coaches because those are my clientele, but this can go into any entrepreneur business model. Having specific work hours that you recognize when you're overworked, your productivity actually decreases. You can also look at things of where are you wasting time. Most of us waste time because we're trying to avoid some sort of work that we don't really want to do. So looking at your specific work hours and how to increase productivity. And recognizing that within those specific work hours, if I put in 10 hours a day versus 4 hours a day, my growth is still going to maximize at some point. So do I need to work 10 hours when I could get the same things done in 4 hours? And that's something to kind of start working into your business model of what needs to be accomplished, and knowing that it takes time to grow. And your growth won't occur any faster with more work hours, if that makes sense to you. So it's about working smarter, not harder. I've never been the one that says working harder. There has to be ways that you can work smarter in your day. The other thing that widely successful people do is they have multiple income streams. I'm not going to jump greatly into that because that's not really my wheelhouse and not anything that I really talk about. But even for myself, as I just explained, I have multiple streams of income that come in monthly, and that I don't focus on that employee mindset where I just have this job that pays me. One thing that was also told to me by my accountant and by things that I also watch is that your paycheck, if you don't have a paycheck for yourself, that's something we ought to chat about. And I'm not going to go into detail about that because that's a training all in itself. Your paycheck to yourself should never equate to more than 50 to 70% of what you earn. So the more you earn, the more you could pay yourself. Then you also need to have a budget of what you need to live on as your income grows. So once you get up to that, multiple six figures and beyond, you don't necessarily need to live off of that amount of income, and you can begin to pay yourself less, which then puts more reserves in the bank for investments. That's another training. Purchases are seen as deductions. So when you purchase things, you want to look at how they reflect on your business and how this can be a deduction. This is also then on the mindset that my business needs to be incorporated. So if you are not currently operating your business by an LLC or an S Corp, that is not, again, my domain, because I'm not an accountant or an attorney that could guide you through these things. I know what I've done and what has been suggested of me, and I am incorporated. I don't do an owner's draw out of my bank account. I pay myself with a paycheck and get a W-2 at the end of the year from my corporation, and that is how my taxes are done, and that is how wealth is created. You do not want to be the owner operator of your business. You want to have that incorporated into a structure where you can run through so many deductions into your business, whether it's your furniture, whether it is meals that you have with clients, whether it is trips that you have with clients, whether it is talks that you do and you need to, deduct your travel and things like that. And so that's another training in itself. So this income portion really can be its own training, something I would love to talk to you guys about. If any of this struck a nerve or your ears are on and they're burning, send me a DM, because I walk people through how I've created my corporation and how in the last several years I've lived off of a W-2 from myself to myself, and how my business has grown within that, and how my accountant has had me structure that. And with that, we've also then created my husband's business and incorporated his business. So we just haven't done it one time over with my therapy practice and coaching practice, but with my husband's business as well. So this is something that we've done more than once, and am really comfortable at kind of coaching people through that process. So your income and the way that you see income is very important, and that is how growth is made. Income is not for you to say, ooh, I've made $15,000 this month. I wonder what I can buy with that. No, actually, you've made no more than $7,500, and that $7,500 goes in the bank for a reserve. And that's FYI, how you take paid vacation. That's a whole other episode. And how you can pay for your health insurance, and how you can pay for all of the expenses that you believe an employer takes care of. But if you become the employer and the employee, you got this shit wrapped up. And so I'm laughing because so many people don't know about this part of the game, that you're really sleeping on the way to get to the top. But if that's something you want to learn more about, please get in my DMs. I would love to share this stuff with you. The last little portion that I want to kind of encourage you to get to this money mindset, this millionaire mindset, is mindset itself, right? So in order to believe you can, you first have to be around people. If I want to learn how to bake cakes, why the hell would I hang out with people who bake pies? Just as a scenario, right? If I want to learn how to bake cakes, I'm going to find the best damn cake maker in town, hang out with him or her, and learn the ropes. This is no different. If you want to be a millionaire or have a wealth mindset, you got to hang out with those people. You got to find those people. Even if you can't chum it up personally with them, find them on Instagram, find them on YouTube, find them on LinkedIn. Watch their stuff until you want to puke. That is going to help you get to where you understand where they're coming from, how they created this mindset, how you then can attract those same type of people, how they think, who they hang out with, what do they do? Like, this gets you to understand these are your elitists. They aren't, your Walmart greeters. If you want to learn how to be a Walmart greeter, you go to Walmart and hang out with a greeter. But if you want to learn how to be with these people and rub elbows with them one day, that's your dream to say, hey, Gary V, what's up? Listen to Gary V. If you want to DM Mel Robbins and she actually knows your name and gets back with you, hang out with Mel Robbins. She's all over Instagram. She's got her own podcast, tons of books, all this stuff. Do those things so that she can see you're alive. And you can learn to see how she's made it through her own struggles. Gary Vee talks about his own struggles. So you get to know these people from the outside in. So the other thing that those people do, they do self-development. Not on a whim, not once a month, not when they feel like crap. Every single day. Every day. I listen to something positive. I listen to something motivating. I listen to something that's going to help me make money. I am going to listen to somebody that is going to tell me something I don't already know. And that is what millionaire mindset folks do. They find out information they don't know. They want to figure out what's not out on the market. They want to see who is the most poppinest person in their niche, and they want to take what you've got and twist it a little bit to their own. That's what you do. Daily self-development. You listen to someone that's going to tell you how you're going to do it, not why you shouldn't do it. So if mom and grandma is like, nah, that's a bad idea. That's a little risky. You shouldn't do that. I don't know about that. Drop them. I don't care if it's your mother. Drop her. Because as long as she's telling you you shouldn't do this, you're not going to do it. You have to be around people that's like, damn, that's a good idea. I wish I had that idea. You should go out with that idea. You need those people around you. So that self-development, looking at things that are positive and optimistic. If you're looking at people who are like, maybe tomorrow, maybe I'll do it tomorrow. Nah, the last time I did that, it really worked out badly. Can't wait to start this project, but I just haven't gotten the motivation. How encouraging are those people? Drop them too. So you got to find people who are positive, optimistic. The sky is the limit. No failure is anything to you. That failure is just information. I changed my bio today to say 6 figures is just a step. It's not a destination. That is so true. So if you think about 6 figures as just a place you want to get, but not a place you want to stay, you won't stay there. So you have to constantly feed your mind, because what happens if you don't constantly feed your mind with something positive, motivating, and optimistic is you allow your own negative thoughts to start controlling your day. And if you've had negative thoughts take over your day like I've had them, you feel like you can't. You feel like this is stupid. You feel like, what the hell did I just invest in? Why am I doing this? No one wants to buy from me. Why would anyone think that I was a good coach and my system really kind of sucks? Who wants that? No one's going to go after that, right? So when you feed yourself with optimism and positivity, it doesn't give your brain the freedom to operate with its bullshit. You just cut it out. So that's the other thing that people with this Millionaire Mindset does, is they don't allow their past experiences, their past failures, the past shitty things that people tell them to operate in their mind. They get rid of it and replace it. So that's kind of like the gist of the story here, guys. So people with this type of a mindset, they look at their personal and mental wellness. They look at ways to stay healthy, both physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, because being an entrepreneur is some really hard shit. And so if we didn't really fuel our bodies with all this goodness, we would crack under pressure. And I could say I've cracked under pressure. We all have cracked under pressure. I used to be so consumed by imposter syndrome. It was unimaginable. When I was a new psychologist and decided to open my own private practice, this was a few years ago in 2017, I was like, who the hell's going to come see me? This is never going to happen. My first client, whom I still see to this day, when she came in, she's an older woman, and I share this story a lot. I was like, oh God, she's going to know that I don't know shit, that I'm a new therapist. She's going to know. And I actually shared this with her recently, and she was like, oh my God, I had no clue that you ever thought this. You were phenomenal. She's like, I walked out of there that first session and was like, wow, I really hit the jackpot with this one. And that really made me feel good, because that was not the energy that I felt that day with her the first time that we met. But again, I'm still seeing her like almost 4 years later, or it may be 4 years later. And so with that, guys, you have to constantly work at this. This is not a one and done. This is something that you do over and over again. That is why mindset is so very important and foundational. It is the bottom level. If you get your mindset straight, you literally can take any strategy to the top. Strategy, and sorry, strategists out there, if you get that mindset together, their strategies work because they've shown that their strategies worked. They've used it. They've sold it. Other people have made it. But if your mindset game is not strong, you will be no match. And I'll tell you, I've even bought a program. I still have it to this day. Phenomenal program. It didn't work for me. My mindset wasn't in the game. And so that was the difference. I still have it, and I will go through it when the time permits and when it's necessary for me. But at the time, I wasn't ready. Doesn't mean I don't own it forever. So that's the thing. So personal mental health, top notch. Income streams, those, when you think about being a millionaire, it isn't from a job. You aren't going to have this one and done 40-hour thing that's going to just incorporate all this money. It ain't happening. You have to think about how you become a machine, a business, and that you then are an employee of that business. Otherwise, yeah, you could talk to a lot of people about that, and they'll hopefully they're on that same process. And the people that I know that are widely successful agree completely with this whole process. All right, so last thing, mindset. Daily self-development. Staying positive and optimistic. Recognizing negative thought loops. And this is something that I really help my clients with, is that I have a particular ability, since I've done therapy for so long, that someone can give me a story. Like, I can ask a specific question, you give me a story, and I can then come back and tell you where the mindset gaps are at and what has caused this mindset limiting beliefs. I use those very sparingly because I'm not a huge fan of limiting beliefs. They are there, they do occur, but I see where past experiences have grown this mindset in my clients, and I can easily and quickly help them understand this and help them shift it. And that's what I do with my clients. When they give me situations and scenarios, I can automatically connect it back in their childhood, in their experiences throughout their lives, and help them understand the unconsciousness of this thing and move them forward. But that's just a side note. So if any of this resonated with you guys, I don't bite in the DMs. I actually do enjoy the DMs. It's something I've become accustomed to, because I can't say I was always loving the DMs. And so hit me up with the DM if you have questions, if you have mindset thoughts or strategies, or just curious about how I can help you through your mindset blocks. And I use that word also sparingly, because I'm not a huge person that uses like self-defeating language. I like to use empowering language. And so I want to help you get to that spot as well. So without me rambling any longer, if this is something that you feel interested in, hit me in the DMs, and I will see you guys on my walks or next week in the training. But I'm rooting for you. I can't wait for you to have this millionaire mindset, and I'll see you guys soon.